Hey family, how's it going? When you're starting a business or you're in business or want to expand your business, then having the right keywords are crucial. You should have one or two keywords or start with a phrase that is a succinct summary of your business idea. For example, orchard care, beekeeping, guitar lessons, pet care, etc. So what you do is you test your keywords for your business ideas. You pick 3 to 5 keywords and you run a test on them. And that's what I want to get into and show you in this video. Um, this is where you test to see if your keywords are viable in 3 areas. By the way, this test is an iterative process. So you will see that you may have to go back and brainstorm new ideas and put new keywords and see if they can change them up if they don't pass the test. So we're going to be looking for market size, market competition, and market must-haves. In this video, I'm going to talk about market size only, and I'll follow up with you with the other two later, God willing. When it comes to market size, you want to see if your market is in the sweet spot for success. You don't want a market size that is too small, and you don't want a market size that is too big. We want to be in a spot that gives us the highest chance to achieving business success. Not too big, not too small. So choosing the wrong market can be disastrous, actually. You lose money sometimes, right? A lot of money. One of the biggest mistakes when looking into what markets to go into or what businesses to start is pursuing a market that isn't the right size. Going into a market that's too big or too small, both are problematic. If that market is too big, that market may be so advanced and so expensive that it's not viable or profitable. On the other hand, if the market's too small, there may not be enough customers or enough demand in that market. And that's going to make it really difficult for you to make enough sales. So we have to find the market sweet spot. That sweet spot represents a market that's not too big and not too small, as I mentioned. You want that sweet spot right in the middle. Typically, there are 3 types of markets. One, a growing and expanding market. Two, a stable market. And three, a declining market. Is the market you going into stable, growing, or declining? You got to pick a market that's stable or trending up. They have long-term potential like pet care, health care, or well-being. A growing market, a stable market, or a declining market. So a growing market may be something, I don't know, maybe chatbots. Let me see something. Yeah. So this is a market that's been stable, but now it has been growing in the last few years, since 2015 this way, and it's projected to grow even further. What I do is I go to Google Trends. If you see trends.google.com, and I actually change the settings because I want to see enough data. So I want to see how that data is worldwide because you get to pick here. And also I'll go from the beginning of when Google started collecting data for this type of analysis. So this is why I basically go here. So this is actually a growing market that's going to skyrocket, by the way, and pretty soon. Um, Another market that we could look at and see it a stable market will be something like orchard care, flowers, and things like that. So this is a stable market. And you see it up and down because it's seasonal. So throughout the year, like on Mother's Day, there'd be more sales and or when springtime comes and things like that. But you will see that it's particularly still going in between these 2 lines here, these 3 lines right here. So it's between this area here. So it's actually a stable market. So the spikes that you see, like I said, is probably the times that people do gardening or they are sales due to the holidays, Mother's Days and Christmas and things like that. But overall, it's a stable market. So it's big. It's not going down all the time. It's not going up. And probably a declining market will be something like, I don't know, DVDs, something that's not popular. Yeah. So you see, they're becoming obsolete. They just going and declining. So you don't want to be in a market that's like that. You also don't want to be in a market that is a fad. And we mentioned fidget spinners, right? So let's see. I don't know if y'all remember that little toy that's a fidget spinner. They came and they hit the scene really hard. And man, they made a lot of noise, but then all of a sudden they disappeared the same way they came in, hard and fast. So if you see there's just a spike here on fidget spinners, then they die out and you don't hear nothing about fidget spinners. So we use Google Trends to see if markets are growing, stable, or declining. And we actually go a step further and we talk about a system or a tool that lets us see if a market is too big or too small. So not only do we want to know if it's an expanding market, a growing market, or a declining market, we also want to know if we make money. I myself am the type of entrepreneur that seeks to see where the pocket is, where that arbitrage is, where that marketplace really exists, because that's what we're really looking at, marketplace. So a lot of people don't know that the market is actually a place and you go there and you do business there. I basically use trends, tool, automation, best practices. I take those key things and I apply it to a particular area, particular business, particular product, and I extract the best business opportunity out of those situations. I do joint ventures with other people that already have businesses, and I plug in my systems, and well, we create equity and more business opportunity where it's beneficial for the person that I'm doing the joint venture with and for myself, and we get to expand and make money like that. So what I do is I actually look at businesses to see if they have the right keywords, for example, if they are on the right track when it comes to finding their customer. Are they in a market that is too big or too small? So some of the things that we use is Google Trends. And when it comes to Google Trends, there's a way to look at Google Trends where you actually get to see if you're in a market that's too big or too small. I don't know if you're familiar with the Dead Sea Scrolls. The Dead Sea Scrolls were manuscripts that were lost for probably centuries. And a couple of decades ago, they actually found those manuscripts. And in those manuscripts, when they opened them, they seen that there were manuscripts written in three different languages. One is ancient Greek. The other one was written in demonic language. And demonic language is something that they have experts in. There's people that are experts in ancient Greek, but they didn't know how to read the third language that was in there, which was hieroglyphics. But what they were able to do is using the knowledge of the other two languages, they were able to decipher what the hieroglyphics were saying, and they were able to learn how to read hieroglyphics based on the other two. So when it comes to market trends, we look at how other key metrics measure up to something new or something we don't know about too much. Just like they were able to decipher the hieroglyphics based on what they were able to understand from demonic language and ancient Greek. They were able to decipher the hieroglyphics and what it said. We too, in modern day, we are able to see if certain things are working online using particular keywords. So what I wanted to show you is how we measure our predictive those keywords and how we able to predict if it's a viable keyword for a business or not. So let me go back over here. So some of the things that we do here is we are able to look at four areas, right? So one is orchid care. We also compare it to to beekeeping. You see, they're very close together. And then the next one will be improve memory. And the fourth one is leadership skills. And now what we do is we compare our new keyword or our key phrase to these four right here. And if it falls in between here or close to it, then we know that there is a great chance that a business will be successful from a keyword perspective. We know that we're not in a market that's too big, and we're not in a market that's too small. So what we want to do is be in the middle of this or somewhere near it. That way we stay within a sweet spot where we know that the algorithms and the keywords and Google is going to push things, YouTube, and it's the same Facebook, Instagram, and all these other platforms using these information just like Google is. Let's see if there's a market that may be by too big, for example. So if I wanted to compare, let's say I wanted to get into the business and my keyword or my website name or my description has certain keywords, I want to make sure to see if it's too big or too small. For example, if I go to Pilates, I will compare it to those four and I will see that Pilates, this purple one, is way above the other four. It's way big, too big of a market. So I know that I may not have the money, the budget, the competition, the team, and the corporate strength to compete with such a keyword. Like for Pilates, it might be something really small. I don't know, dog training for vegans or something. I don't know. Yet, so it's way too small. If you see the purple is down here. So it could either be too big of a market or too small of a market. You don't want to be in something like that. I would like to look at a market that, let me see, chatbots. I never looked at it yet. Right now, it used to be too small, but now we are getting there. And then we're going to find a nice sweet spot. So right now, in the next couple of years, we're in a good spot to probably position ourselves when it comes to chatbots and be able to push that because we know that this is what people are searching for. It's not too big, it's not too small, and it's actually getting into an area where it could become profitable for a good amount of time and you could extract money from there and actually fund yourself into a different situation. So whatever your keyword is, what you want to do is compare them to these four right here: orchard care, beekeeping, improve memory, and leadership skills. And you, again, you want to make sure that you are having the right keywords that are beneficial to your business and that people are searching for. You want to make sure that the demand is good enough, that the demand is not too big or too small. So if the demand is really big, then you might be competing with people who are giants there. So it's probably hard to compete with them because it's too big of a market. It's like having a little boat in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and trying to handle the waves, and you're not equipped to be in that type of depth and that type of all the way out there like that. And if you got your little boat in a little stream of water, then you're not really gonna have no movement. Like the market's too small, it's too small for a reason. That means nobody's buying. So you don't want to be in that type of place. I know it may seem counterintuitive that, oh, I want to be in a place nobody's ever been, or there's not enough people, there's not enough competition, and all of that. That may sound okay in your head, but it doesn't convert into dollars. So you don't want to be in a market that's too small and a market that's too big. So I hope that that brings some type of understanding in terms of how we look at just the market size, and we haven't got into the market competition or the market must haves because we be here for a long time. So I just wanted to deal with this part right here. I hope that this makes sense to you and that you should think about your keywords where the algorithms and the platforms don't suppress you. They actually are in line with what the people want what people are actually searching for. So if they're not searching for your name or the keywords that you are actually putting as the name of your business or the name of your website or the description that you have, then it's something that you should reconsider. So I hope that this is beneficial and that you find some benefit in me sharing this with you. Next time we'll talk about market competition. That's really intricate. There's really ways to look if you in the right place with the right market size within the right competition. So there's a sweet spot between all of this. You want to be in a place where the competition, you're in a sweet spot for the market size and sweet spot for the market competition. And that you're looking at the market has at least 5 areas, 5 key points that will help you be successful. So even if you've never been in those businesses or anything like that, you will come in strong and make money, especially if you have a skill set and an analysis game that keeps you viable. We'll talk more about that in the next episode.